So this is the first part of my audio commentary on the Adventures of Matthew Robinson 2, Ohio versus California Barbed Wire Deathmatch. So you just saw the Red Flag Productions movie logo that is copyrighted, and it was also created by John Martin, a good friend or co-worker that I worked with at a company called Artworks. And I really like this beginning because it's just showing my daily routine. It starts off very quiet. And then all of a sudden, bam, that's my annoying alarm clock. It's probably one of the most annoying alarm clocks on the planet. And some people have asked this, and it is true. This is my actual room here on Pepperdine University's campus. It's not the average dorm room. I live actually on staff housing, so I have a little bit nicer of a place to stay at. And this actual opening clip was used as a promotional clip for the Adventures of Matthew Robinson. When I hit my knee on the table. It's a very low table, and so actually it didn't come on camera, but I thought it was alright. It would be more of a surprise if no one knew what it was, and all of a sudden I just hit my knee. That is my view. I have a nice view of the ocean from my room. Very nice. I really enjoy it. I'm a 20-year-old guy with a kind of place like this. Now, this is one thing that bugs me about the Adventures of Matthew Robinson 2, and that bugged a couple people when they saw it during the premiere. Once in a while, these little side pixelization will come up, and the reason for that is because some of the tape, this was before I had an HD camera, obviously, and some of the mini DV tape actually got magnetized, and so they got a little messed up, and there was nothing I could do. I couldn't refilm anything because I was in Ohio. I had to premiere the movie the next week, so I just did it. And so it happens for probably a grand total of about 5 to 6 minutes in this movie, some random parts, and you just gotta deal with it. The music I use in this, hopefully, and on YouTube it doesn't get taken down, is a song by the Mooney Suzuki, a very talented, underrated band, not mainstream. They deserve much more credit than they get. This is a lot of the filming for the opening was done on Pepperdine University's campus. It is, of course, a beautiful campus. I think the Princeton Review rated it the #1 best campus. And though these opening credits, I will admit, are not as good as the first Adventures of Matthew Robinson, which were done in Flash animation, I still think it's very well done, and it fits well with the music. And here he is, the Adventures of Matthew Robinson, Ohio versus California Barbed Wire Deathmatch. Catchy title. Now, we went with this title basically because it was really just going to be called The Adventures of Matthew Robinson 2, and I was like, that's not really enough. We had to really just go for how random this was. Something that some people don't know about The Adventures of Matthew Robinson, who aren't a part of the high school community I went to. Adventures of Matthew Robinson is based off of episodic scripts I used to write, and in it they were very random. It was usually a lot of random jokes put in loosely strung into a storyline. Usually the storyline wasn't that well constructed, and on purpose. It was meant to more be a vehicle for the jokes. As you can see here, this is the Pacific Coast Highway, and you're seeing the Pacific Ocean, of course. I really like this shot, even though we have the magnetized. I still think it's pretty nice. It's cool. You get to see me coming. And another thing that some people don't understand about this opening is that this is me, and I'm actually filming me going to the airport. I actually filmed the day I was going back to Ohio, and I filmed me going back towards LAX. My aunt's driving the car, and I just filmed everything, between the actors. And here we are by the Howard Hughes Center, and I couldn't film LAX. So what I just did was I added in this little Google image of LAX that you see there, then me getting on a plane that's not moving, and then this is I was filming all the film in Cincinnati's airport, CBG, great airport. And if you listen carefully, actually, when you listen to the audio clip, they talk about the threat level was orange, and a lot of people found that funny. Now this is also Rock This Town by the Stray Cats. Hopefully YouTube doesn't force me to take this down as well. I'm not making any money off of this, and this is when I come back into Ohio, and I did this to kind of draw comparisons between California and Ohio. Truth be told, I love Cincinnati. I actually am not a big fan of big cities, like the size of LA. I think it's way too big, way too expansive. I'm not really necessarily a fan of that. But that's okay. And this is, this is PCH, and then this is Ronald Reagan Highway. It's a completely different tone, completely different, and I'm really, it's strikingly different. Two different areas, but I like it. And this is also on the Ohio riverfront by Newport, Kentucky, and you can see the Red Stadium, downtown Cincinnati, the Paul Brown Stadium, Cincinnati landmarks. You can kind of briefly see the PNC Bank Tower as well. But yeah, it's great landmarks. I went to often a lot of games. And this is Jordan. And Jordan, who had a very small part in The First Adventures of Matthew Robinson, gets a much larger part in this movie. In the first one, he was meant to be smart. It was kind of an ongoing theme in The Adventures of Matthew Robinson, that everyone be stupid and then one or two characters be intelligent. And it would vary. And the characters did not really keep the trait of intelligence. That was never consistent. And so Jordan was now stupid in this movie. And we go here to Santa Monica College, something I filmed earlier. These are two people from my screenwriting class. The hilarious Lennox, I can't even pronounce the last name. It's been so long, but Lennox is hilarious. And then Sarah Brown, also funny. Both very talented screenwriters in their own right. Sarah wrote a great script that the professor was so impressed with. He asked her to say it out loud. It was a rewrite, and he let her rewrite the script, and when she rewrote it, it was just a really well done script. This was all pretty much improv. I just told him to go with it, talk about something funny. The only thing that wasn't really improv in this was the Power Rangers stuff. That was actually scripted in. But the first part where they're talking about anchovies and everything, that's improv. And then this is me walking to my Pepperdine jersey. Not Pepperdine jersey, Pepperdine sweatshirt. But yes, this is great. I like this shot. Actually, Aaron Loveland is working the camera right now. And as you can see, we're just talking about the Power Rangers. I always thought this was very interesting about the Power Rangers, how like the first season, it was very stereotypical. The colors and the ethnicities kind of based what their animal was, what their color suit was, what they stood for, their power. And so it was kind of funny. I mean, I love old school Power Rangers. So they're so cheesy. Someone would throw a kick and then 20 feet backward, 20 feet away from the kick, this guy would pretend like he got kicked in the chest and sparks would fly off him. And, it was awesome when you were a little kid. My parents actually didn't let me watch Power Rangers. They said it was too violent. So, very Christian home, that was too violent. Power Rangers was too violent, so. What are you going to do when you're a kid? I mean, I eventually, got old enough to watch Power Rangers, realized how cheesy it was, but that's okay. I wanted to when I was a kid to see the Power Rangers movie, never got to see it. No, I was so disappointed when I was a kid that I didn't get to see that film because all my friends were talking about it, and I felt out of the loop. I also didn't have cable. But this was a great little scene, even though, some people criticize in my directing, which I've tried to improve on. I keep one angle too long, and actually you'll see in the other film I'm working on right now, Drown, I really work to keep it expanded. Okay, so you're also obviously checking out my audio commentary. Thank you for watching. Look out for part 2.